Welcome back to another Euro 2020 video. This video is going to be a look back at my match predictions for the group stage. I'm going to give my predictions for the round of 16 as well, and we'll take a look at my tournament predictions that I made at the start of the competition, and also my updated ones for the knockout stages. So we'll kick off with my predictions for match day one, and we'll just run through the ones that I got right, because they're the ones that matter. You can see all of them here. But I correctly predicted a 1-1 draw between Wales and Switzerland, and a 3-0 victory over Russia for Belgium. But the rest of them got a few points, but no more correct scores. For match day two, not as good as match day one. I'll slowly scroll down, but you can see I got one correct with Netherlands beating Austria. In fact, I didn't even get that correct. No, it was the Denmark-Belgium one that I got correct. I was confused because I saw 14 points. So I predicted that Belgium would beat Denmark by 2-1, and that one was the only one that was right in match day two. Match day three, though, we managed to get a few correct. We got the 3-0 victory for Netherlands over North Macedonia, the 2-0 victory for Belgium over Finland, and the 1-0 victory for England over Czech Republic. Let me know how you did if you're playing the match predictor on UEFA's website yourself. But now we're going to take a look at what I'm going to predict for the round of 16. So, first match in the round of 16, it's Saturday's game. It's Wales against Denmark. And I think this one is going to be very, very close. I'm not agreeing with any of the popular predictions. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And I think Wales are going to go through on penalties or after extra time. Maybe penalties. I don't know. But I think these two teams are very evenly matched. Of course, Denmark not getting off to the best of starts in their group, but they did manage to qualify, which is what's important. Wales did pretty well against Italy, only losing by 1-0 with a man sent off. And I think they're just going to cancel each other out, but I do think Wales will get through to the quarterfinals. Italy against Austria, the other Saturday game, and this is clearly just going to go one way. It's going to be 2-0 to Italy, is what I think it's going to be. I can't see Austria winning this at all. Italy have looked very good so far. They've been one of the best teams, I would say, in the tournament so far. No way they're losing here. Then we have Sunday's game between Netherlands and Czech Republic. Netherlands, another one that have been very, very good, even managing to win without their full strength lineup playing in their final group game. And Czech Republic, they did well against Scotland. They got beat, of course, by England, and I think they drew with Croatia. So a bit of a mixed bag for them, but I really can't see them winning against Netherlands. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for the Netherlands. Next, we have one of the two huge clashes. It's Belgium against Portugal. Belgium, another one of the teams that have done very well so far. Portugal, not as well, but I think this is going to be another one that goes to penalty shootout. It is going to be, in my opinion, a 2-2 draw. Portugal and France played out a draw the other night. And I think mainly because Ronaldo's on somewhat of a scoring spree, I think he'll probably get the 2 goals for Portugal. But I do think Belgium have got goals in them as well. And I'm gonna say Portugal are going to go through on this one. Probably on penalties, like I said. So next we've got Croatia against Spain. Now, these two have both struggled a little bit in the group stages. Until the final game of the group stage. Croatia, of course, beating Scotland by 3-1 and Spain winning 5-0 against Slovakia. But I do think Spain have got enough about them to beat Croatia, and I think they will be going through to the quarterfinals, and I think it'll be 2-1. Next, we've got France against Switzerland. France, surprisingly not that good in the group stages. They come up against a Switzerland side with mixed fortunes in their group stage as well. But I do think that the world champions are just about going to scrape through by 1-0. France were, of course, my pick for the tournament. That might not necessarily have changed. There's obviously still time for them to book their ideas up, but we'll see who I've chosen a little bit later in the knockout predictor. Now we come to the penultimate game of the round of 16. It's England against Germany. Am I confident? I'm never really confident when it comes to England or Liverpool, which is the team I support. But I'm probably the most confident that I've been in an England side to be able to beat a German side. I'm going to go for a 2-1 England victory. There's probably some bias behind that, but I think Germany have got a goal in them, at least. We don't really seem to score that many. We generally win by a goal to nil or draw 0-0. So this could be a bit of a mistake. But I think we're going to win, and I hope it doesn't go to penalties, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory for England. And then finally, it's Sweden against Ukraine, and I'm going to go for Ukraine in this one. I think Yarmolenko has been somewhat of a star for Ukraine this tournament, and I think that's going to continue in this game. I think they're going to win 2-1 with Ukraine heading through. So now we move on to the tournament predictor, and this is how I've done in the initial competition, I guess. So I predicted that Italy would finish top of Group A. They did that. Turkey would finish bottom of Group A, which a lot of people were saying that Turkey were going to be underdogs, but I never really saw that. And then I've got the middle two teams a bit mixed up. In Group B, I've got it entirely correct. Belgium, Denmark, Finland, Russia. Same with Group C. Group D, I got the final two places wrong. I was trying to get a little bit of hope there for the home nations, but Scotland just couldn't bring it home. Group E, I've had a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. Not one position correct in Group E. And then Group F was also a bit of a nightmare, but France did manage to finish top, and Hungary finished bottom. Only got one of the third place qualifiers right. That was the Ukraine. Which, of course, means that my predictions for the round of 16 are a little bit off as well. Italy, Austria, that's one that is actually happening, but none of the other ones are correct. So we'll take a look at the knockout predictor, which is the updated one. So round of 16, of course, we've got Belgium against Portugal. I've got Portugal to win that one on penalties and go through the quarterfinals to face Italy. Italy to beat Austria, as I've already said. France to beat Switzerland. France go on to face Spain, who beat Croatia in the quarterfinals. Ukraine and England to beat Sweden and Germany, as I've already said. So it's a Ukraine-England quarterfinal, which would just be mwah for England. That would be a beautiful little... Well, I'm not going to underestimate them because Ukraine have looked pretty decent. But I was going to say it'd be a beautiful little rest for some of the players. But we'll not count our chickens just yet. And then Netherlands-Wales would be the other quarterfinal. And of course, I've got Portugal beating Italy, although that's a bit of a toss-up because, as I said, Italy have been one of the better sides in the tournament so far, but I do think Portugal and France, who have got to beat Spain, are going to finally come good once it gets to the knockout stages, when they know that they've got something that they need they basically know that they need to win to continue. I've got England to beat Ukraine, of course, and then Netherlands to beat Wales. I think Netherlands are one of the stronger sides in the tournament as well. I'm a little bit disappointed that we have to see Portugal against Italy in the quarterfinals, but we've still got pretty strong semi-finals if my prediction comes true. Portugal against France, a repeat of their group stage match, which was just a hell of entertainment. So many penalties, so much drama, and I'd take that for the semi-finals. But I've got France beating Portugal in the semi-finals, and then us, England, coming up against Netherlands, and the Netherlands having too much for us losing in the semi-final for the second competition in a row, meaning it's a France-Netherlands final, with France picking up the trophy in the end. But of course, they are just my predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments section down below. And that is it for this Euro 2020 video. I will be putting out a fantasy football video as well, either today or tomorrow, with my transfers ahead of the knockout stages. I know I've got a bit of extra money to play with, and there's unlimited transfers, obviously, because lots of players will probably have players from teams that are no longer in the competition. So I'll be back with that, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, like I said. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out, hit the notification bell to stay notified, and I'll see you next time.